Lena, we're back again. So it's nice, so nice to be connected with you again. So we were talking about the issues with the car. I was also asking you about whether you worked for other people. Do you do any kind of service work? You know, helping people like as a waitress or a server or some other capacity of helping people? Say that again?
Server.
Oh, you are a server? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like there's a little bit more money to be had there. I'm feeling like there's going to be that you can get more money that way. I don't want you overworking though. You know, I don't want you picking up more shifts. I know you can pick up some more, but I don't want you to overdo. But I am feeling that there's going to be some more extra tip money, I guess it would be, coming in. So that seems to be connected. So we definitely want to keep going with that. And the other thing that your father wanted to communicate to you too is I understand he didn't tell you really that he loved you and was proud of you. And I do want to say that from him. I do want to tell you that he's very proud of you. He's proud of everything you've been doing and how you keep going, even though sometimes things are really hard and difficult. So he's talking about wanting to make sure you know that he's proud of the work you've done and that he does love you as well. Do you have children by any chance?
Yeah,
Okay, because I want to talk about your children. So he's mentioning that as well. He tells me that you've done a very nice job in how you're raising her, and you're really helping her get her head on straight, if you will. So are you having to kind of give her some guidance, or are you very good at giving her guidance as to how to live her life? Have you been working with that?
yeah, and
Okay, good. Because there's that sensation of wanting to make sure you continue that you're showing her how to do things. I know that hard work is very important to you and your family, and that's something that you have been well trained on to make sure you're working very hard. And so that's a perfect characteristic and quality for you. So don't worry so much about the money, because I do feel some more money coming for you. And it does seem to be connected to working. And I'm also feeling that when you get somebody to just check out some of those things on the car, that's going to be quite helpful for you to make it more, what's the word I want to use, reliable, because it doesn't feel as reliable as I want it to be. Okay. And one more thing about the car, apparently. Do you have a spare tire with that car? Because if you do, I think it's flat.
yeah, I do.
Okay, so make sure that's okay. Okay, so make sure it's okay. And that will be good. Okay, so Lena, it was so nice talking to you. And I really enjoyed talking to you tonight. You have a great night.
You too.
Okay, thank you. See you later. And that was Lena from Puerto Rico. And next we're going to go to Laura from Washington. Laura, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And how can I help you today?
Well, I've never done this before, but I'm hoping my dad passed away about a month ago, and
Okay.
I'm just hoping to. I don't know.
He'll come in a few minutes.
Talk to him, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It is possible. And okay, so I do have a man here, and I'm going to talk as fast as I can so I can get in as much as I can in just a few minutes. And the way I'm feeling this man, okay, I'm feeling like I've got a lot of stuff happening in my chest area and my body, and down even further. So I have a lot of stuff happening here. This man, the way he's coming through, he does feel like a father to me, but we'll see once I describe him a little bit more, okay? And the way he's coming in, I get a real gentle soul. Is he a gentle soul?
Absolutely, yes.
And I mean that in the most positive, wonderful way possible. There's this energy that's coming through, is so kind, caring, loving, so supportive, reassuring, everything you want a person to be. He is,
Right.
the morals, the values, the characteristics, but it's that gentleness that comes in. It's a true feeling of unconditional love is coming in. And was he sick or
Right.
something before he passes?
Yeah, he had some health conditions.
Yeah, it's interesting because I just get all sorts of weird things in my body sometimes, and I don't know what they are because I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything. But I feel these things happening, and I feel this sensation, though, this gratitude towards you of helping him. Okay, being there for him. Were you checking in with him? Were you physically helping him?
Well, we live in different states, but I called him like 3 times a day to make sure he was doing okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because there's a gratitude coming in for you helping him. And so you may have really lifted his spirits and made him feel, very, I don't know, special, even though he's your father and he is special. But, it's nice to
Right.
have that. And there's a huge gratitude coming in for that because you are his little girl. You do know that, yes?
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
his little girl, even though you're adults, and
Right.
all of that. And
Right.
that doesn't change. And he's just so happy, to have you. I know this sounds so weird, but
Right.
you know what I mean? He's so happy
Right.
about that. And he wants to tell you, he's thanking you again for how much you did for him and how you are you're just that wonderful person. And he's so proud of you and how you grew up to be this wonderful, amazing person. And he's mentioning your mom right now as well. Is she still here in the physical?
She is.
Okay, because he's mentioning her, and the way he's mentioning her, oh, they must have been very tight and very close because I get this connection between the two of them that is so very tight. But I don't know, I don't know. But he's mentioning her and he's talking about you being there for her as well. Were they still together when he passed?
No, they've been divorced for a while.
A long time? Okay, because he's still mentioning
like
her.
20 years or something.
Okay,
he
so
still felt he didn't want to get divorced.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense then because I'm like, he's talking about her and he really
Right.
wants to acknowledge her. And he's talking about you checking in with her. So basically, he's telling you to check in with her. Not that you wouldn't anyway, but he
Right.
is telling you that. And he understands, you are the way you are. You're going to do what you can to help. And
Right.
there is a very strange, interesting thing coming in right now I do want to talk about. I want to talk about trees. Okay, trees. I love my random things. Sometimes they mean something, sometimes they don't. But I want to talk about trees in relationship to him. Does he very much like nature, being outside, things like that?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. And is there anything in particular, a story or anything that happened with a tree? Tree falls down. He cuts down a tree. Anything like this? I want to see where I'm going with this. I've just got a couple minutes, but I want to check it.
Well, we live in Washington, and before a couple years ago, he came. He wanted to see the redwoods, so we took him to the redwoods, and that was a really, really, really big deal for him.
Okay, so that's how he's getting me to talk about trees. I get it. No, I think you're exactly right because he's talking about trees and he's got to use whatever's in my head to get there. And I'm quite sure that's it because there seems to be some significance to it.
Right.
Along with that, I would, if I were you, keep your eye out for signs from him if you haven't seen anything yet, because I have a feeling he's going to be touching in with you. Okay, so that is important. And I do feel a certain smell with him. Did he smell a certain, did he have a certain like aftershave or something that he would use?
He did. Yeah.
Okay, because I do feel a certain smell right now. So that may be what it is that you may experience that as well. You may smell something. Okay. Yes. And he's also talking about, boy. Okay. He just wants to tell you again how much he loves you. He's going on and on and on about it. He's just like, I love you so much. And there's this sense of satisfaction in his life that he had a great life. I know he had issues and challenges like everybody does, but overall, there's this sense of satisfaction. I did the best I could. And so I'm really I'm liking that feeling there. And he also wants to say he very much enjoyed the conversations with you because you guys would talk about all sorts of things and you would tell him everything and you made a point to include him in everything. And that was so special to him. So he wants to thank you for that as well.
Great.
So wonderful. I love those conversations you guys must have had because you do talk about everything and anything. And it really helps him feel connected to you. And that's important. Right. So he has not left you. He's still around. He is on the other side, but he's also here. Okay. So, well, Laura, that was fun. Just a little quick message from him.
Great.
He's
Thank
a lovely, gentle man. You are so welcome. And thank you so much for calling in. It was nice talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. And that was Laura from Washington. And it's so nice to just touch in with her nice father on the other side. Thank you so much for watching and listening. This was Creating an Inspired Life. And I'm Colleen Vanderzijden. You can connect with me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzijden, medium and intuitive life coach. You have a great week. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Ask Rebecca radio show with Rebecca Russo. Live from AskRebecca.guru. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Ask Rebecca radio show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me, and welcome back to those of you that are regular viewers. I hope everyone had a great 2 weeks. I myself had an awesome time off. I was in Colorado visiting my sister and meeting my brand new baby niece. She's the sweetest, littlest, cutest baby ever. And of course, I'm completely biased because I'm her aunt. Also, while there, the love of my life, who I have been with for over 8 years, proposed to me. So I'm officially engaged, you guys. Ooh. Anyway, look, for those of you out there who are still waiting to find your loves, I hope that my story brings some hope to you. I didn't meet Simon until I was 37 years old. It took several failed relationships to bring about the realization that I was the common denominator in all of them. Sure, it wasn't all my fault. Obviously, it takes two to ruin a relationship. But the obvious thing to me was that I contributed through my own fears, insecurities, self-worth issues, and self-sabotaging behavior due to the lack of my own self-love and not being myself. So I took some time off from relationships and I decided to have one with myself instead. And I learned to understand myself. I learned how to like and accept myself. I learned how to have respect for myself. And I learned so many, many things about who I was, what I was doing wrong, and the things that I was doing right. And once I kind of purged all of my BS and fell in love with myself, then Simon showed up just like that, right? And we chose to spend the next 8 years getting to know each other, supporting each other, and allowing ourselves to fall in love despite our fears, despite any relationship lows. You know, we all have to work through some issues in the beginning. We pursued our dreams and we built our own businesses. We bought a house, we got a dog, we dealt with multiple tragic losses, and we committed to each other in ways that didn't require a ring or marriage certificate until this moment. We knew that we wanted to get all that other stuff out of the way so that we could have the biggest celebration of our relationship with family and friends. So I don't want anybody to get discouraged. I hear it all the time with clients. Oh, I'm never going to meet someone. I'm not going to be, I'm not getting any younger. There is no age requirement. There's no age restriction. And all the relationships that you've had up until this point have served a purpose to teach you something about yourself, to learn what you want, what you don't want. And, now it's just a time to be patient, continue working on loving yourself, deal with your fears, deal with insecurities and any false beliefs about yourself. And before you know it, your Simon will show up and you'll have the love of your life too. So I'm just sending lots of love to all of those of you that are still out there looking for your love. And all right, enough about me. Let's get into what the energies of July will bring us. They've already started off extremely intense thanks to eclipse energies, Mercury retrograde, and our planet moving into a higher vibrational part of the universe. So one of the main things that you could have been experiencing physically is waking up with headaches over the last maybe couple of days, maybe even a little bit longer, maybe some fatigue, maybe a little bit of nausea, along with all the other physical symptoms that I've rattled off in the past for you. So this month could be a mix of awesome opportunities, new beginnings, and straight up manifestation of whatever you are putting your energy into. So be sure that you're focused on the positive aspects of life versus the negatives. And Annie Botticelli put it perfectly in her astrology report for July. She says to think of yourself as a spider. You have woven your web, and now is the time to see what comes to you. So, spider webs, they just put it out there and little flies get stuck in it and they're trapped. So we're kind of in that energy. So things that we've been working on, things that we've been attempting to bring to fruition are going to kind of miraculously show up in our little spider web. Look, Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap, but it isn't all that bad. Remember, life is a matter of perception. So this retrograde, you can experience miscommunication, confusion, changes to plans, or you could see powerful manifestations from past work that you've done or past contacts that you've made. Mercury is going to bring the past to the forefront. Expect blessings, maybe some challenges, and they're all somehow connected to the past in some weird way. You're going to tie up loose ends, work on completing projects for launching once retrograde period is over. Energies in Cancer will make way for an emotional month, and Leo energies give you the oomph that you need to make changes, right? So it's going to be this mixed bag of energies. So you could, again, go from like being super emotional to like feeling fired up and ready to kick ass and take names and make things happen. You could see things around home, housing, family, creativity, romance, fun, children. Those will all be a theme for the month. Doors will be closing while other ones will be opening. So don't get discouraged if things seem like they're falling apart. It's happening for a reason. It's for the best. Hang in there. It's already revealing itself to be an exciting month. You can expect to see more things coming up in the news. I feel like there's going to be some stuff connected that's going to be coming out that's connecting people in power to the Epstein child sex trafficking case, along with other upsetting news. So expect to see that kind of unraveling. The planet is going through a big shift. Evil can only hide in the shadows for so long, and truths will be coming out nonstop over the next several years that will be mind-blowing. We've already seen a lot of truths revealed within the Catholic Church, so there's a lot of ugly things that are going on in the world, and those things are really going to start coming to light more and more. Okay, so I won't be taking a live caller again tonight because I am taking next week off again. I know. This July, this summer has been a crazy one for me, and I've been blessed enough to be able to take a bunch of vacations thanks to other friends that are getting married. So I'm doing 2 bachelorette parties, one in Vegas this weekend, and I'll be in Baja the weekend after. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. So I'm going to do the show for 2 weeks worth. All right. So let's get into what you can expect from tonight, July 11th through to July 25th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. Okay. So general themes. Again, lots of mixed energy. So you could go between vacationing, relaxing, having fun, you're enjoying summer, you're feeling good, everything's upbeat, to all of a sudden feeling emotionally stressed out. Maybe you're even feeling physically burned out. And if you haven't been able to take any time off to relax, that could really be the case. So you could just have total burnout and fatigue. I do just keep feeling shock and awe in some way as well. So be easy with yourself. Try to do everything from an energy and space of love, and that will make life a little bit easier. And try not to resist things. You may be forced to look at any old attitudes or outdated beliefs that you have. Many of your beliefs and perceptions could be challenged during this time. Some of you could be going through another period of being stripped to the core and feeling emotionally raw. So you could be going through purging, right? It's not fun, but you've got to get it up and out of you so that you can start attracting these things into your life that you actually want. And the only way we can do that is by letting go of the things that don't serve us. And that comes through emotions. This human experience is an emotional experience. So you can't avoid it and suppress it and deny it. It's not going to go away. You got to deal with stuff. I do also feel good luck, blessings, prosperity. I feel like rare and unusual and sweet occurrences and occasions. Like I just feel like there's a bunch of unexpected, beautiful things happening, along with maybe some unexpected, uncomfortable things. I do feel memories coming up from the past. I do feel some of those memories are coming up to be cherished. I do feel like some of them are to be forgotten, and some are coming up to be healed, and some to be transformed and looked at in a different way. And maybe even realizations of like what you thought was how it went down actually didn't go down that way. I just feel like there could be discussions surrounding things from the past. There's an energy of the unexpected again. I'm also getting a connection to elephants. So possibly maybe you see some elephants, or maybe there's elephants in the news, maybe you go to the zoo. But for some reason, I'm also feeling like I'm seeing a white ceramic elephant that could have some special meaning for someone that's listening to the show. I don't know. There's a connection to elephants. You'll have to tell me how it shows up in your life. Strength, intense energy, balance, pressure, power, perseverance all come to mind for achieving goals over the next 2 weeks. All these qualities exist within you, and they're going to help you accomplish your dreams. And whether it's creating a business, looking for a new job, running a marathon, creating anything and everything to make your dreams a reality, you're going to have those strength and those things that are going to just give you that extra push that you need. I would caution launching anything brand new until Mercury retrograde ends, which would be the middle of August. I would wait to launch anything brand new, anything that you've kind of already been doing and working on, and maybe you're revamping it in some way, I feel is okay. But maybe if you can, just wait a little longer to launch anything brand new. I do feel some of you are thinking about taking a trip or doing something for summer vacation. I keep getting pack your bags, get the heck out of town, just do it. Even if it's a staycation in the next town over. I understand financially some of you may not be able to take a trip, but a day trip somewhere to maybe have a picnic would be good, or doing the zoo, or again, like just, I don't know. I just feel like some of you have got to get out of your normal routine and be in the presence of family, friends, or romantic relationships, but not in your usual scenery, right? Like I feel like you have to switch it up. You've got to get out and about. You've got to do things, do some meetup, download the meetup app and go and, if you like to paint, go see if there's any meetup groups that paint. Whatever your preference or your passion is. Sorry, my brain and my mouth are not working together right now. Okay, let's see. I do feel like some of you are getting on each other's nerves. So that's why I'm really feeling like you need to be doing something fun, some sort of an activity that reconnects you and gets you out of that funky energy. A message coming through says to honor your inner knowing, take action, do what you know you need to do. You're being encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be in your life. So again, if you're feeling motivated and you've been thinking about some things, put it in action, put it just, again, you don't have to launch anything, but work in the background, figure out what it looks like, make notes, write down all of your creative ideas, and it'll all come together nicely in some way. Your animal spirit energy for the next 2 weeks is the Phoenix, and Phoenix energies are connected to freedom from suffering, past karma, and reincarnation. The Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. So you're basically confronting your garbage, right? That's the only way you can get through it. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize that we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the Phoenix is lit and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes and a lightness and clarity merge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before, so look closely. It's a sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. So really, I think this card is super fitting because we are in this retrograde period, so there are things that are going to be coming up to be looked at, to be healed, and to be purged. Like this card says, you cannot run and hide from it. If you do not deal with your baggage and your junk, you're just going to keep reliving that over and over and over again, right? And that is not fun. So just face it, face your fears, face your insecurities, face whatever your concerns are, and work through it. And if you have stuck emotions, a lot of us don't deal with sadness very well, right? Some of us can't express sadness, and it manifests itself in anger. If you're really, really angry, that's just a symptom of sadness. Let yourself cry, let yourself feel. You've got to get this stuff out. It's so important right now. I cannot stress that enough because of what's happening on a planetary level. We are going through an ascension process, and everyone is going to have to deal with their junk if you want to make this leap. And that's something we'll talk about more in the future. Okay, work. For those of you that are employed, overall feels like a positive 2 weeks. Lots of energy surrounding work, career. So many of you will get a lot accomplished in a short period of time. There's a slight caution about trying to change the flow of work, right? Like I kind of feel like you can't rock the boat. So if there's structures and policies and a system in place wherever you work or even within your own business, now is not the time to switch things up and change it, because I feel like that really could be rocking the boat and cause it to tip over. And this kind of just feels like for the next couple of weeks, and maybe even through the middle of August. I want to say the shadow period of retrograde ends like the 14th or 15th of August. At that point, then I would say go for it. But if you have to do something before then, again, just kind of make sure you're in alignment with everything that you want to happen for yourself. Those of you that are currently looking for a job, I'm feeling several new opportunities, whether it's starting your own business or finding a summer job to make some extra money, or you do need a job. And I think, to me, I feel, again, sorry, brain, mouth not working. I'm feeling many of you are going to get interviews. Like, I just feel like some of you have been waiting and you've applied to like a bunch of different jobs and nothing's coming to fruition for you. But I kind of feel like that's shifting and you're going to get some callbacks. I do feel for a few of you, there is maybe a woman with lighter colored hair that may be helpful in getting you hired. And now it could also be a man with maybe more feminine qualities or feminine energy. But I just feel like someone with lighter colored hair is going to either get you hired, give you a lead to a new job, or is in a position to actually hire you. And I feel like that is the case for many of you. Yeah, sorry, hang on one sec, because I feel like I'm getting other information here. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, there's a few of you, like I just feel like you're standing outside a really tall building, not like I don't know, to me, I feel like some of you are going to get some pretty big job opportunities that are going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. It feels really, really positive. Love, those of you that are currently in a relationship and you're committed or dating seriously, overall feels like a good week. The words responsibility and duty come to mind. True love is willingness to work together to get through any rough patches, to work on the relationship. So you could see minor issues popping up that need to be resolved, right? I don't feel like it's going to be a crazy emotional time, especially if your relationship is pretty stable. I kind of feel like it's going to ebb and flow like normal. But there just could be a few times where, maybe there's a couple of things in the relationship that you haven't really enjoyed, or you're not really vibing it. So maybe you bring it up to be discussed, right? Like maybe if you've been stuck doing the dishes for the last couple of months and you need some relief, you might, throw up a flag and say, hey, I need some help with dishes. Little minor stuff like that. let's see, those of you that are single and dating, I do feel like there are going to be plenty of opportunities to meet someone, get out and mingle, try new places, be open to people you normally wouldn't speak to. And there's a possibility that some of you will meet someone that ends up being a long-term relationship. I'm feeling a lot of potential partners right now. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's unions that are going to be happening. So even, you know, and I when I talk about this stuff, I don't want you guys to get hung up on like every single person that you meet, like, oh my God, this is the one, so I've got to put in the extra effort. Make sure that you're trusting your own intuition. But I just feel like the timing right now, there's a lot of love in the air, and I just feel like a lot of people are meant to meet their other half, their significant other, soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like energetically, that's just what's needing to happen right now with where the planet is moving energetically. So I just feel like we're going to see a lot of people ending up in long-term relationships, and I do feel like some of you, I feel, are going to get introduced to a potential partner by someone with light hair. I don't know what it is. It feels like light-haired woman. It seems to be light-haired women will be playing a significant role in people's lives these next 2 weeks. And again, don't get hung up on the sex. You know, sometimes that can be misinterpreted. It could be a man that maybe is balanced within his feminine energies. But I do just feel like you're making connections with people, and it's going to be, people are introducing you to someone. So make sure that you accept invitations to go and do things. Go to the beach, hang out, go to all the social events. Don't worry about what you look like in a bathing suit. Only you care about that. Nobody else does. Okay, finances. Money feels pretty stable, with many of you experiencing increase. If not these next 2 weeks, definitely in the near future. I also feel a few of you will want to spend more money. I see a couple of you guys getting carried away. You're throwing around the credit card, you're throwing around cash, you're spending money on the house, you're spending money on clothes. I just kind of feel like you're in this really feel good vibe. So it doesn't feel like spending to feed a hole in your heart. It just kind of feels like you're feeling amazing and you're feeling awesome and you've got the extra money and you just kind of want to pamper yourself. But I feel like you could end up getting carried away. So be creative and shop wisely, right? Because you can shop smart and still get all the things that you want, but not spend an outrageous amount of money. So just balance it all out. Health, the first thing that I'm getting, anyone trying to get pregnant, it's a great 2 weeks for fertile energy, okay? Even if you're not ovulating and if you're tracking it to the T, I say go for it, because I'm just feeling like even if you're not ovulating, there's something energetically that is happening or is being released, whether it's like an emotional block, a mental block, or maybe you've put too much pressure on, like, oh, we're only going to do it when I'm ovulating and my temperature's this high or whatever. So I feel like you've got to just go for it, because God works in mysterious ways. Believe in miracles, lots of high energy for many of you. Most everyone will be feeling pretty good. Everyone could work on getting enough sleep, eating healthy, and stress relief. Spirituality, a group of you could feel spiritually overwhelmed and another group spiritually hungry. Whichever category you fall into, honor the wisdom within you, right? Honor what you're feeling. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a break. It's okay. If you're spiritually hungry, well, read, explore, do what you need to do. All right, that covers this week's intuitive messages. That's all the time that I have for tonight. I hope that everyone has a great 2 weeks. I look forward to connecting with you guys when I get back. And maybe I'll have even more great news to report. Either way, if you want to get a hold of me and you'd like to book an appointment, you can reach me at 407-374-3133. You can call or text. Have a great week. 2 weeks. Bye.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Insights into Consciousness with Anna Olson. Live from AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Insights into Consciousness
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, good evening. I'm Anna Olson here on Insights into Consciousness on A1R Radio tonight. Every Thursday I'm here, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to do a reading tonight. I can't wait. And before that, I just wanted to go over some things going on in astrology first. The reason why I do this, I'm not an astrologer. However, most readers will account for all of these different things going on in astrology because we're hypersensitive to these things. And as I learned about doing readings and tapping into my intuition throughout time, I was able to start to notice that I got a lot of these readings that were where people were dealing with certain things around certain times according to astrology. And I never was really into astrology as much. I kind of thought of it as kind of a fun way to check my sign or to figure out, what friends I would be compatible with their signs. And as time went on, as I spoke with other readers and other intuitives, I started to realize that we all tend to start to have a lot of the same issues and work on the same things around the same times of the astrological calendar. And when there are certain things going on, I'm noticing it affecting everyone and it being on a large scale of universal consciousness. I began to really account for a lot of this stuff going on when it was pointed out repeatedly to me by friends and fellow intuitives. And sometimes that's how we have to learn, and that's the way I had to learn it. We're going to start with the Mercury in retrograde here in July 2019 coming up. It's going to really start to affect us on July 2nd. The reason why is because before Mercury starts its retrograde, there's a little bit of a pull beforehand before it really goes for it. And they call it coming to its shadow and all these different technical things. I like to just tell you exactly what it means. So July 2nd, you'll start to kind of feel something. A lot of people will get impatient and people will start to have some issues in relationships with communication. You can notice, people getting impatient because the thing about not communicating correctly or when things don't work right, let's say electronics or your car or your computer, people get frustrated. It starts to weigh on them. They kind of start having those bad days. And I'd like to give you some remedies so that it's not just okay, brace yourself and good luck. See you later. I'm going to be hiding in my room for a few weeks. It's more like, let's get out there and really prepare for this and know what it is. Because the more that we know, the more that we can really just roll with the punches. So July 2nd is going to start. July 7th, 2019 is the day that retrograde is officially starting. And that's kind of, usually about the week beforehand, we kind of get a little bit of these topsy-turvy conditional things that start to happen. And I'll just give you a basic rundown of what we need to be careful of during the Mercury in retrograde, and not to panic anybody or to worry anybody, but it's a really cross your T's and dot your I's time. We want to be sure that our any travel plans usually should be after the retrograde, the Mercury in retrograde. This is going to be the Mercury in retrograde in Leo. Now, Leo is a sun sign, and we're going into summer, sun sign Leo, and it really gives us a lot of energy to want to go travel and have fun and be free-spirited, which is wonderful. We just don't want that to be interrupted with any of the communication issues during the Mercury in retrograde. Communication issues will be things like your computer not working right, or your cell phone not working right, your car breaking down, Appliances sometimes go down during the retrograde, and it's not that people are crazy, that it seems like it's all happening at the same time. It really does make sense on a scientific mathematical level. I'm not going to quite go into all the details on my show because that would be, I think, too lengthy. But basically, it's that there's a magnetic pull in space. Every single magnetic pull in space affects us on Earth in some way, shape, or form. We know this from the full moons. It affects not just the tide. We know this scientifically, but it affects people's behavior. Go ahead and ask anybody who works in emergency services, nurses, officers, of law, doctors. Hospitals will all kind of roll their eyes. They don't want to work the shifts on the full moon. There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes on with people. We're made out of water. Mostly our bodies are made out of water. These gravitational pulls in the planets affect water, which will also, or can also, affect our behavior. And electronics, electricity does not conduct without water or some form of it. So going into the Mercury in retrograde, this is usually what we need to do. If you're going to sign a contract, wait until the Mercury in retrograde is over. Do not do it when it has started or the week before or after is a good idea. Buying a car, buying a house, selling maybe a little bit better, if that's your situation, but you want to have you need to be double sure that contract is looked over 4 or 5 times. This is where communication issues come in. Sometimes contracts don't go through. We have things falling through, plans falling through, people canceling. One way to help with the operation of electronics is to double check your different software programs that make viruses out of your computer. Go ahead and delete your cache records, on your computer, all of your history. Make sure that it's all cleaned out. Delete your pictures from your phone. All the things that will really help with the function of your electronics. Some people put quartz crystals or Shanghai on their electronics or even their car because they swear by it that it helps with function. So we're looking at basic things such as computers, contracts, traveling, flights can be delayed. There's just all that topsy-turvy stuff that may happen. And this also includes the weather patterns. So, across the board, across the gamut, we want to make sure that if we're going to make plans we're going to communicate with our significant other or our friends, or you're at work and your communication, you just want to make sure that it's very precise, that you're in the moment, you're calm, you're cool, you're speaking slowly, and that you're sure that they heard you correctly. You can check and double check, asking, did I explain that correctly? You can go over it 2 or 3 times. Go ahead and annoy people with how clear you're being so that they understand exactly what you're saying and that you're conveying the message that you're trying to convey very clearly. This does affect our brain, the way that we talk, the way that we listen. Contracts need to be read, reread. Set a lot of reminders so that you don't forget things, such as returning emails, calls, scheduling appointments. Make a nice to-do list so that you're not having to remember as much. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to really be patient with the next few weeks, maybe the next month or so. And that's okay. These Mercury in retrogrades come up. When you see these Mercury retrogrades coming up, there's always something we can do. There's always being nice and careful. And when you see people acting crazy or going, road rage or whatever that's going to be going on, or the moods, it also affects hormones, which are the base of human behavior, then we need to remember it's the retrograde and this too shall pass. And just wait a little while and it will come back full circle, go back to its original course, Mercury, and it will straighten out and realign and just go along its merry way. Remember that these things pass. This is good work. This is not anything catastrophic. It's just something to be aware of to make your life easier. That's why I like to go over it. Try and, not to apply for that new job or make that move until after the retrograde. Just wait until it's over. because we want to make it the least crazy as possible. And I want to give you the tools to make life as easy as possible with all of this. And those are a few of the things that we can do. And trust me, the more you look around and follow this sage advice, the more I guarantee you will realize that Mercury in retrograde is real, and that we do need to be a little bit careful with this kind of stuff. Buying cars, traveling, go ahead and travel. Just be extra sure that you checked everything you booked, that everything's set and ready, everything's confirmed. You look at all the dates of every single day you're going to be there, the price, how much they're taking out of your account, see if there are any calls that you need to make or remake, anybody you need to call back. Make copies of all your documents. Be sure you save them in a nice, safe place. And, the thing about retrograde is it brings up subconscious, hidden, or shadow work. When we talk about the shadow work, this is all stuff that has to come up and be processed. Think of it as if you have like a shed in your backyard, or you have a garage that needs to be cleaned out. It's all stuff that's useful. It's all stuff that you have for a reason. Some of you need to get rid of. Some of it you need to reorganize. That's what this shadow work is about. It's the stuff we don't look at very often, but it's necessary. It's the stuff that we still love, or that we still hold close to our hearts. Relationships, traumas, past stuff. People call it past life stuff, I think. Our childhood can be our past life. So it's just all the stuff we need to process and look at some point. And it's good work to do. It's something to process and really know, what to do with it. It's nature's natural way, as nature does, to get things moving, to uproot it, to process it, to heal, to process out with the old, in with the new. This is the way of thinking that it has to happen. It has to be processed. And this isn't bad news. This is great. It's just hard. It's like doing your yard work. You know that you have to do the yard work. It's not, some people enjoy gardening. I don't know a lot of people who really love yard work, where you're cleaning up leaves or you're getting a bunch of the old stuff out and having to tear up old stuff by the roots. But that's basically this emotional, spiritual work that we're doing during the retrograde. So now when we look at the stuff that we're processing, we have to remember that we can't just uproot it and leave it there and not deal with it. That's like uprooting all of your bushes and your trees and cleaning up your leaves in your yard and leaving them out in the front or the back or whatever. So I have Riva in New Zealand. I'm going to do a reading on her tonight. And I'm going to keep in mind that the Mercury in retrograde is coming up on the 2nd. That's Tuesday. And that we are going to really look at that future here with her reading. I like to just acknowledge that we have the astrology, the current events in astrology coming up. So, Riva, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yes, I'm doing great. How's New Zealand looking? Oh, okay. So how is it in New Zealand? What's the weather like there?
Oh, it's so hot. I live in the sunshine capital in New Zealand.
Oh, wow. And where is that?
In a little city called Whakatane.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thanks for calling in tonight. What topic would you like to focus on tonight?
I was just because we've recently moved here, so I was just wanting to, I guess, just get some direction on moving forward.
Okay, so this is aligning with the Mercury in retrograde, moving forward, having to get that old stuff up and out, process it, and kind of start over with a new chapter with a clean slate. So is there a specific topic, or would you like me just to do a reading on what I get?
Yeah, I prefer on what you get, because I think that those are just messages I need to hear for the now.
And if I really get a lot of nature for you, I just tell you what I see, and then you make sense out of it. I'm seeing a lot of you being outside in the sunlight with I want to say like your tribe of people, and there's, you know, drumming, and you guys are sharing a community feeling together, and you're all relaxed and happy. I see, you know, like a beach, and I see trees, and I've never been to New Zealand, so I don't really know exactly what it looks like, but this is either describing to you what it needs to look like or where you need to go back to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. That would be paradise, that sort of environment.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hearing that it's something about your heritage. About your heritage and looking to your ancestors.
Wow.
So I keep getting the Queen of Wands for you, that you're going to absolutely be successful in what you're studying. You're going to be successful in your job, that you don't need to worry about it, but that for your, I mean, I say sanity, but really for your mental well-being, and just so that you're not so stressed out, that you need the music, you need this drumming, you need some meditation to really help keep you grounded and just help you with the whole thing. There's going to be some issues with the kids, with, you know, emotional stuff. Just us as mothers, it's like, you know, that's the thing that pulls at our heartstrings the most. You'll deal with it just fine, but there is going to be some things to process there.
Thank you. Yes, I've got no doubts about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real painful.
Mm-hmm. And not to worry, but it'll be fine. That you're going to be successful. You're going to do well, and that you're going to move on and really be happy. Because I feel like this has been a process where you've been finding yourself.
Yes, that's so right. And I just feel like I'm where I should be, and that the next lot of choices that I make are imperative to what, you know, my final design's going to be.
Yeah, I keep getting something about music, dance, and arts. It might sound really off right now. Reading on the air, but it's good.
Could that be? I'm just wondering. Because my daughter is totally into all of that, and we're quite close. Could it be something for her, or that's definitely a message for me?
You know, it could be for her. I see you doing these things. I can see you with the music, and there's other people dancing around you. So maybe that's a way for you to bond with your daughter. Maybe that's another, as she gets older and she grows, perhaps that's the way to really bond with her. And she's the one that I saw at the beginning of the reading, being the key person, you know, involved in the reading. So I could see that as being a way to connect with your daughter.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Because, you know, she's one of those, she'd need me to participate for her to go out and do those things for herself. I get that. I get that.
Yeah, and it'd be a way for you two to bond, and it would also be a way for you to relax, that you would enjoy it, that it would be therapeutic for you. And I keep seeing that drum. It's a big drum. And then for her, I'm sure, you know, I just see people dancing. I hear the music. It's outside, and they, you know, in nature, kind of, you know, at a park or something. I don't know, something like beach or park. It's an organization or like a group that gets together, and I just see it as being very happy. Like you guys are in your element. You guys are doing very well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. It makes me feel real hopeful, knowing that everything is as it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. You're following your life path, your life contract perfectly. Not to worry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you need anything else, follow up with me. I have my website at the bottom of the page. It's AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. I'd love to talk to you again. I have
Thanks
to go,
so much,
but
and I definitely will.
good luck with everything. Thanks so much for calling in. You have a wonderful day.
Have a great day, a great night. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. So I got a lot of visual with her reading, and here we go again with the transition, and she's dealing with a lot of transition in her life, and here we go into Mercury retrograde, that there's a lot of uprooting, a lot of changing, a lot of new chapters. So that's going to be across the board with most people for a little while, and then it'll calm down, so no worries. We've got to process this stuff, let it come up, and deal with it. So I will see you next week here on Insights into Consciousness. I'm Anna Olson, your host, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much for watching.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Asteria Vision with Asteria. Live from readings-5-hysteria.my-free.website.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Asteria Vision
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Now I'm live. We were having some issues with the live button, I guess. But hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Asteria Vision. I go by the name Asteria. I'm on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. And if you want more info about me, they always tag it in the video. I usually like to start, going into meditation so I can at least get some messages for the collective before I get the callers. So I am a psychic empath, and I connect to people's energy through pictures or their voice, or in person even, but that's how I work. I feel like someone out there is like, come on, tell us something about yourself. So, because I always say you can, find out more info about me. And the moon is in Scorpio tonight, which my moon is in Scorpio. So that should give everyone an idea of why I'm so secretive at times. Or I don't like to say much about myself. But let me see if I get some messages for the collective. I did feel when I was meditating, again some heartache dealing with relationships. I felt that again. So, it could be that there's people, during this time too, Mercury retrograde, there's 6 planets in retrograde right now. So everything's pretty intense, and there's a lot of reminiscing going back, but there's also a lot of endings, and the endings happen for new beginnings or newer beginnings, refreshed even. It doesn't have to be a final ending, but it's an ending in some way, in shape or form, I want to say. But I did feel that some people are going through heartache, and it's due to losses, and it could be breakups, it could be even death, people that lose a partner, or, they pass away naturally, or something happens unexpectedly, because Also, when I was meditating and shuffling, meditating on the collective's energy, there was a lot of truths being spoken as well from what I saw in the cards. Yeah, and I just got the Four of Cups. So that tells me that someone is still reminiscing about a love from the past. What I'm getting is those that are still thinking about someone in the past, they may not have an idea that that person may come back and offer their cup of love, so to speak, or their love, or they don't see it coming. Yeah. I think is like stuck in their head, and emotions, mostly their emotions. It's a very, I'm getting, it's not addictive, but it's like obsessive. It's an obsessive emotions they have towards someone. Yeah. And there's worry that there's a commitment that's going to end. I feel there's a partner that is worried also that their commitment is going to end, or they see it coming to an end. But the person that I was picking up originally that is reminiscing on the past may not see this love coming in. This person that's going to come in is going to want to offer a commitment. So that's the kind of love message I'm getting for that person that I'm picking up. But it's like you don't see it coming because you're so focused on other things that didn't go right emotionally for you. Yeah. I'm picking that too. Or picking it up. There's some commitments that are maybe coming to an end. But this is when it happens during the retrograde. So I knew I was feeling something that was heartfelt, but it dealt with love more so. Yeah, King of Swords. Yeah, heartache again, Three of Swords. So definitely someone's hurting emotionally. There's a lot of heartache that I felt. So it could be that the calls I get in have to do with that. Sometimes it magically happens that way. But okay, thanks. No rush. I hate rushing anyways. I'll take Jenny from Iowa.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for calling in.
I'm good, thanks.
And what's your question for tonight?
My question for tonight is, I have been just really, really struggling, mostly with my employment, and I was just kind of wondering how that's going to pan out, because I feel like I'm really ready for the year to be over.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel if you've applied to jobs, I do feel that there is, let me grab another deck of cards, but I do feel that there is someone that is seeing you of interest for a job. There is someone that, well, let me see what else I get too, but I do feel that one job in particular, but what I'm getting is this job that is looking at you as, interested in you. The boss, what I'm getting is really picky. It's a really, really picky boss. So they take their time with hiring because he's just very picky as to who they hire. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting intuitively. But let me see what I get with my cards too. But what I'm getting is I know you're stressed because you're used to your finances being good. Things are usually stable for you, but there's a sense of you're not feeling stable anymore, and it's affecting you in many ways. But what I'm getting is don't worry so much about it, because I really do see there's someone that there is a particular job they're looking at you, and they see they're interested in you. It's just this boss is like really, really picky, very stern too.
Okay.
But what I'm getting to tell you is don't stress too much. You're actually fine. It's just I feel you're in your emotions as well. Yeah. So you're definitely, the message I'm getting is you're on the right path. So whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing it. If you're applying it to jobs, keep doing that, obviously. But make sure that what you're applying to is something that you're really interested in. Don't just apply to apply. Make sure that you find interest in what you're applying, because I feel a sense of urgency coming from with you, where it's like, I need to get a job at this time. And if I don't, so, and I feel, and it's you're stressing out. And I felt that before I saw this card, but you're on the right path. Don't worry about it, but I get it. You're working because you're not getting the income, and it's can be stressful, but you're
exactly right.
You're very independent. Naturally, as a woman, you're very independent. You got yourself together. You're just stressing out, because I feel this is a transition for you, and okay. So I don't know if you meditate or connect in a way with meditation or through meditation. Also, I'm getting.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so meditate more, and also connect to your crystals as well. I'm hearing. You need to go back to that to calm your mind, because you're in your emotions a lot right now, and it's putting you in a place that honestly you don't need to be there, is what I'm hearing. It's unnecessary worrying, and everything's going to be fine. But definitely what I'm getting is meditate more and connect with your crystals, and through meditation.
Okay, that's exactly what I've been doing, actually. So I will keep doing that. And everything he says, I totally understand. Yeah.
Let me see if I could get, let me see if I feel a time frame for you. I feel you're gonna get communication pretty soon. I do. Because I do see someone. There's a boss, and I don't know, maybe he's someone that's in charge of hiring or helps him hire. They're definitely looking at you as an option. But
I haven't even looked anywhere. I'm just trying to determine if I need to. I own my own business with somebody else. And I'm just starting to feel, like you said, I have that sense of urgency. That's me in my head. I'm starting to feel like, okay, I just need to decide if this is the right thing. And so that's where all the meditation and the crystals and everything has come in lately. I mean, you have hit everything exactly right. But I haven't even, and like you said, don't jump, because I won't jump into anything unless it's absolutely perfect. Right. Because I'm okay now. I'm freaking a little, like you said, starting to freak a little. Right. And so I'm waiting.
Right. It's like an inner. How do I say it? Like everything around you is fine. It's just an inner turmoil. But what I'm, it, could be in the future, there will be someone, that you'll connect to, or that when you do start looking for something else, you feel you're ready to make that move, that transition, I feel you're going to get something pretty quick, very qualified as well. I mean, your experience is, you have a lot of experience as well. So it's not going to be an issue if you do decide to leave, because I did see you fine. So.
Right. Yeah. It's very likely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. And Danielle was the next caller. I didn't see where Danielle was from, though. Illinois. Okay. Hi, Danielle. From Illinois. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. What's your question for this evening?
Hello?
See, I knew she wouldn't hear me. Hi, Danielle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now. But
you can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your question?
I'm trying to hear. Mine is on relationships. On my relationship.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. You want to know about your relationship?
Yeah, I want to about my relationship. It's like, is that, just want to know, where do I stand, in my relationship with, romantically.
Right. Right. I get it. Yeah. Love. I know. Okay. Yeah, I did feel when I was meditating earlier, heartache, a feeling of not belonging anymore too. But let me see what I get. Let's meditate a little bit and see what I get. Yeah, you're emotional. Hear me?
Yes, I
Danielle?
can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, are you able to talk? I just feel like there was somebody. Okay. You're not feeling well right now emotionally, like you're in a kind of, I don't want to say you're a depressive mode, but emotionally you're feeling not well at all. And it's because of a love relationship that you're sad about. You're sad about. And you're thinking about leaving. It's like you're in between. Should I leave? Should I go? You're wanting to leave things behind. Wanting to leave things behind, but it's just if you do that, it's going to be what I'm hearing is a trickling effect. It's going to affect, possible other relationships with children or family. It's going to be like domino effect. So if this is something that you're thinking about really doing, you have to make sure that you're ready for it and you're not just making the choice out of fear of getting hurt more, because there's a sense of where you don't know where you belong. Yeah, when it comes to your love relationship, you don't understand what, you feel that there's truths that aren't said to you, things that you may not know or be aware of. So,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can
Okay,
but I feel
like I can hear you. I'm like moving around, so some spots I can hear you better.
okay, because I can hear like a dog barking and then the guy. So I don't, I don't know. If
Oh, you can hear my dog?
Yeah, I can hear. So I can hear you. I just want to make sure you can hear me when I'm saying stuff.
Okay, now I can hear you now.
Okay.
And then now is there? Could I don't know if I can try to get a better connection.
I don't know if you could call back. I mean, if you want, Danielle, you can go to my page, my business page. It's Readings by Asteria.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Yeah, because I feel like our connection's fine. So I don't know if it's maybe on your end.
Yeah, it's probably on my end. I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you got any of the messages that I was giving you, but I just feel that you're not feeling well emotionally because you don't know how you're seen within a relationship. Like you're really depressed about it is what I'm getting, and you feel that you're not getting the full truth about or a few things. So, I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I'm. Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Are you, Danielle, why don't you message me on my business page? Send me a message and I'll answer your question for you, okay? Might be easier than, might have more privacy.
Okay.
So, I get it. Readings by Asteria on Facebook. Oh, I hope she got that. I feel like Danielle wasn't able to really talk to me. So I'm going to just continue and see what other messages I get. Or we're going to try calling her back. Okay. I just feel like she wasn't able to talk on the phone the whole time. That's the vibe I was getting. That's why I told her to message me because she has more privacy. I feel like she kept getting interrupted. So I hope she's okay. I hope she messages me. But let me see if I get some other messages with my other deck. Like, I don't know. That phone call was kind of weirded me out a bit. Anyways, let's see. Hopefully we can get her back on the line. But in the meantime, see what other messages I get for the collective or something I pick up. Yeah, it's definitely not a good time, obviously with Mercury retrograde too, but it's not a good time to start anything new is what I'm getting. If someone is thinking of starting something new, it's just not the right time. It's not a good time. What I'm getting is it would be foolish because you don't know all the details. You only know half of the details. So what I'm getting is to give yourself more time as to making a final decision or a final move on something. That's one message I'm getting. But what I'm getting is you'll have a happier ending if you take your time to think about making specific moves. So I don't think we could have got Danielle back. Yeah, someone's thinking about making moves, but it's just not a good time. And I do see this energy that I'm picking up. You're meditating on what to do, what moves to make. It's like you're planning in your mind, and you are taking your time, which is good. because this is not a good time to start anything new. I don't know why I'm having an issue talking now. Okay, Dawn or Donnie? Dawn? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, Dawn.
Hi.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I can answer a quick
I'm
question.
doing very well.
Oh, good. So what's your question?
What's my what?
What's your question?
My question is, I'm having really wonderful astro travel type of dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if I'm going to do more knowledge-based stuff based upon these dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm getting ready to teach classes and stuff, like I do dream walking and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that's going to become more prevalent.
Well, what I'm getting is you're actually even more, your dreams are even more vivid around this time. And you're very highly intuitive around this time too, but that's the energy of what's happening right now with a lot of intuitives. We're very, our visions are very vivid as well. Even mine are vivid in my emotions too. They're strong. They feel strong. Yeah. But yeah, what I'm getting is that is what you're supposed to do. So you should follow that path of teaching because that's what you're meant to do. That's one of your gifts.
Yeah, you know what? I get real excited about it, but I'm also very leery because in the past, I could tell people were saying that they were getting the full percussion of it, getting the full framework of, coming into their dream life. And they didn't really understand. And I don't want them to say, oh, yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. Yeah, I experienced the whole thing, but they're not really getting anything.
Exactly, because they don't really have, I don't want to say it this way, but it's harder for some people to connect, and it's a lot easier for others because, we communicate is different, everyone. And some of us communicate through, empathically through emotions and body language. And you're right. You want to make sure that people are truly benefiting from it. They'll always benefit from it. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're going through a transition life as well, is what I'm seeing too.
I'm going through what?
You're going through a transition in your life as well, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I really am. I really stepped away from my gifts for quite a while because I saw a lot of people around me getting hurt.
Yeah, you were so
So I really stepped away from my gifts because I know that I can do a lot of things. I just don't like getting hurt, and I don't want the people around me to get hurt. So I stepped away from it. And one of my shaman friends, he was really having just the spirit coming over him. He's like, oh, God, hold on, hold on. He's like, oh, I got to tell you what's going on with you. I'm going to tell you. He was like ready to explode. And I was like, oh, you got to tell me. And he's like, you're having dreams of liquid silver. I don't tell anybody these things. I don't tell them what I actually have. And he's like, you are having this because you're going through this transition, like you were just saying. And he says you're really going to come into this fertility, this purity. It's a fire. It's burning. He's like going through the whole thing, and he's like turning water into liquid silver. You've got Grandma Moon, and he's going into this intuition thing and spiritual progression, power, and And he like went through the whole entire, I mean, my skin is just rising up from it right now. It's like, you're supposed to be living in your gifts and you're not. And why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, I just don't like people getting hurt. I'm tired of, seeing people getting hurt. And then, like I said, they really aren't in tune to, what's actually, they don't understand how these things can benefit them if they actually do go into a practice. So.
Right. And that's where you come in. And for those people that don't understand and don't get it, it's a perfect way for you to now even learn how to communicate in a way that they'll understand that, what you're saying. Because as empaths, it's hard for us to communicate the words that we, what we feel. It's hard to communicate at times. And the way we do communicate it, people think we're like in La La Land. It doesn't make sense to them. So that's where you're also having to learn too, is for those that don't get it, instead of feeling that they get hurt, just explain it to them on their terms is what I'm hearing, so they'll understand. Because I feel that you're misunderstood too in some ways. And I agree, you shouldn't give up your gifts because of a fear of hurting others. You can easily help them understand, in their own way, in their ways. And you read people very well, so you wouldn't have a difficult time figuring out, how could I explain it to this person where they get it, it makes sense to them. And I think you are on the right path. I don't think you should give up your gifts at all.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. How is everybody doing? I'm feeling a little slow this evening with Mercury retrograde going on here. And, that gives us just all wonderful, lovely computer issues, technology issues. So far, so good. I have done really well with it. So I'm crossing my fingers that I'm going to stay good through the rest of the retrograde. I hope that you guys all had a really great 4th of July and a great some of you probably had a long weekend. I worked the day after. But last weekend, I was able to get out on the water with my kayak and get some of that creative energy going. Of course, just before we hit the retrograde. But it was really fantastic to get out on the water, and it opened up so much for me. And, we get into those parts in our life where we get stuck, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in our business, our work, whatever it is, we just feel stuck. The decisions don't come as easily. The understanding of the process doesn't come as easy. And so one of the things that actually I was struggling a little bit with was trying to unblock all of that. And after chatting with my mentor a little bit last week, she told me that I had all this creativity that wanted to come out, and it was just being stuck. And it was because I wasn't allowing that to come out. Now, this concept is not new to me. I've heard it, a few times from my mentor throughout the last couple of years. And I've actually even been feeling it probably in the last 2 to 3 months. It's just like there's just something I want to do. It just feels like it's dull and things aren't working right. And I was really yearning for that creativity. And when my daughter was younger, I used to scrapbook all her photographs all the time. And it was a Friday night ritual for me to get together with a bunch of ladies and stay up until the wee hours of the morning, just letting those creative juices just go and flow. And I know I always felt so much better after a weekend of doing that. And as we progress and our kids get older and they start getting involved in more things, we kind of lose that part of us. And sometimes, it doesn't take much to let that creative juice go. Just, sitting down and doodling with a pen and paper. You don't even have to be you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to do anything. Some people like to draw or paint. Some others listen to music. Maybe you like to go jogging. Maybe that's kind of what your creative flow, whatever that is for you. Get back into that. If you're feeling stuck, just sit down and just do something to take your mind off of that and to let those creative juices flow. And you'll find that things will come a lot easier. So a couple of things that I have is I actually got myself a coloring book. It's a Healing Mandela coloring book. It's just a small one. And you can even just take crayons, go back to the days of being a kid, get some sidewalk chalk or get some crayons and just scribble on the paper. It doesn't have to be anything imaginative or beautiful or anything. It's just to unlock all of those blockages and just let things flow. And once you find that those things flow through you, then you're able to come to some better decisions, things that you want to do in your life, questions you've been asking. The other thing actually I just got is really cool. I don't know if any of you know about this. Some of you might, but it's called a Buddha board. And what it is, you can see mine here. It looks just like almost like a whiteboard. And all you do, it comes with its own little paintbrush, kind of like a calligraphy looking brush. And you just dip it in water, and then you can just start creating, right? And it just starts making, pictures. It reminds me of the magic ink. For those of you, the invisible ink. And after a while, it will dry out and it will just clear. So as you draw, you can just kind of scribble and do what you want to do. And then as it dries clear, and it gives you a clear format where you can start all over again. It's fantastic. The other night I had it on the kitchen table, and after I got done eating, I just picked it up and I just started drawing. I just started letting it just roll off of the paintbrush. It was fantastic. It just gives me, 2, 3, 5 minutes of something I can go over and doodle, and then I can come back and it'll be gone. It'll be disappearing. You can already see that some of the stuff that I've drawn is already starting to dissipate and disappear. And so it basically just wipes it clean and gives you a brand new canvas so that you can start all over again. So it's really fantastic. It was really inexpensive. I think it was like $35. And, it helps me with my creativity, helps me get back into the flow of things, and releases. So whatever that looks like for you, I encourage you, especially through the month of July. It's all about creating. It's all about stepping into pushing us closer and closer into what it is we are called to do here on our time on Earth. So using some of these techniques can help you kind of unlock those hidden keys, so to speak. So I hope that helps. I've had a great time just going back to being a kid again and just taking some crayons and just doodling. It's been fantastic. And sometimes that's all you need, is just to be the kid again and to remember what that felt like. So enjoy that. Enjoy your doodling and your scribbling. And you can see one last thing here. You can already see that on the Buddha board, there's just one little piece left. Everything else has already dissipated. So pretty cool little gadget. So with that, we are going to head over to the phone lines. Who do we have now? We have Annette in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Good evening, Annette, and welcome to Your Time to Shine. Oh, I think we lost Annette.
Give me a second.
So anyway, just going back to that, I just want to talk a little bit about, also I'm doing some online courses this summer. They're kind of sporadic throughout the summer. And the next one coming up is really great. It's talking about manifesting all the good things in life. And I'm going to teach all about the techniques that you can use to manifest really fantastic things in your life. So if you're interested in checking that out and finding out how to sign up, reach me on my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or right here on my Your Time to Shine Facebook page. It's really exciting. I'm also doing Wednesday group readings. I take up to 6 people in my group, and we sit and we talk about whatever it is that's on your mind, whether you need to connect with a loved one to see what they're doing on the other side, or whether you're just having trouble making a decision in your life. Maybe it's what direction you need to go with a job or a relationship. So I'm opening it up to 6 people, and I'm doing that every Wednesday night, just through the summer months. So again, reach me
on my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or right here on Your Time to Shine Facebook page. And I'd be happy to help you get signed up for one of those. It looks like we have Tania in Rock Hill, Connecticut. Good evening, Tania. How are you this evening?
I'm good, Julie.
Did I say that right?
Tanya.
Oh, Tanya, my apologies.
It's okay, no worries.
So what can we do for you tonight?
Well, I would like to have a reading, see what is in store for me.
Okay, do you have a question in mind, or are you just looking for some general information?
Just some general information. Is there any new horizons? Am I going to meet anyone?
Okay, perfect. Let me check in here with your loved ones. And so there's just going to be a little bit of silence here while I check in, but I will be right back, okay?
Perfect, thank you.
So what your team is showing me is that there's been some stress and some struggles here recently with kind of the direction in your life. It's like you can see things like right there. It's like you can just barely reach out and touch them, but you can't quite get there. And so what they're showing me is that there's a lot of cloudiness, there's a lot of cloudiness around that. They're asking you to get very specific about what it is that you're asking for. I'm being shown that maybe you're changing your mind. You're going back and forth maybe, or maybe there's 2 or 3 different ideas that you're toying with. And they're saying that, any one of those is going to be a really good direction for you. But they said the only way that they can help you is if you get really clear. Because the way the universe works is you put this feeling and this thought and this vibration out there and you start talking about it. And as you talk more and more and more about it, right, you raise your vibration, and that reaches out to the universe, and they say, oh, Tanya wants this. Let's give her this. And then us humans being wanting everything right now, because that's kind of the time that we live in, right? It's not fast enough for us sometimes.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, you change your mind. Yeah. You change your mind. And so they go, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Now she wants this. Okay, everybody shift. She wants this, right? So every time you kind of change your mind and change your direction, it just interrupts that flow a little bit.
Okay.
So they're saying that they are here and they are super excited for you. And they're just so ready to help you, but they really need you to sit down and clearly make a decision on what it is that you want them to help you with.
Sounds good.
Are you in a relationship with somebody now?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Okay.
I don't. The word relationship, I guess, it's not even brought up. So, that would be a question to, like, the person that I'm talking to, do they see him like making a decision if he wants to be with me or not?
Yeah, this person is really being wishy-washy. I guess that's the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
They're they're very content where they're at right now. But I'm feeling like that's not going to be on at the same level that you're at. You're ready to take that next step and to continue on. And they are not, is a gentleman, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's not there. Has there been some has he had past experiences with relationships? I'm sorry, hang on. They're trying to show me something here. There is something almost like abandonment, okay? There was a past relationship that he had where there was someone in his life that he thought was always going to be there, and one day they just weren't.
Yeah,
and so he hasn't really gotten past that. So what he's doing is he's like, well, if I don't really get too involved, then it's really not going to hurt if it doesn't work out, right? So he's kind of got his guard. He's got his guard up a little bit.
He does.
Have you ever sat down and had a conversation with him about this?
Yes, but at times he dodges certain questions, and for the past few weeks, it's either he makes plans and then he backs out.
Okay. I'm not getting the feeling that the timing on this for the two of you is quite right. If you're okay going in the way that it's going, then I think you guys will be fine. But if you're wanting to take it to the next level and do something different, I don't think he's ready for that yet.
Okay.
So I think what it does is it comes back to you as far as what, again, it's about getting clear, right? They're bringing me back to that same concept. Get clear on what it is that you want from somebody, right? Even as far as writing it down on a piece of paper and making like an image board or something of things that you want in your life, right? Make it make it really clear. I mean, you don't need to get down to the details like I want someone who's got brown hair and green eyes, but kind of the general overall, what is it that you are looking for in a relationship, right? And then put it somewhere where you can walk by it every day and go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that I asked for that, right?
Yes, okay, that makes sense.
And then you'll find, because I actually did the same thing, and I came back about a year later and I looked at the board again and I'm like, wow, okay, so this happened and this happened. And so you take it off the board and you add new things to it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they're just asking you get very clear on what it is that you're wanting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because they said that you are going in a direction that you could have anything you want.
I know.
You can have
it's just I have so much patience. I sometimes want to wait for certain things to see if they come through, and I'm pretty much a strong person. I just go forward. I can't look behind all the time.
Right, exactly. You're always moving forward, which is a really good thing. But it's about getting clear.
Right, that's true.
And they're going to show you little things along the way, okay? You're going to go, oh, okay, yep, I see, I'm going in the right direction, right?
Okay, yeah. I was wondering if I could just ask another thing as well is, I am a single mom of 3. They lost their dad. I would like to know if their dad is around.
Oh my gosh, yes, very much so. He is so proud of them. Wow. He had so much love for them, for his family. He was definitely a family man, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until his family turned him, but that's,
Right. He has such a gentle soul, a gentle way of being. But he is very much involved with your children and guiding them daily. Your youngest actually interacts with him quite a bit.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the little one that doesn't remember him, so.
Yeah.
They were very young when they lost their dad, so okay.
She might not remember him as like a father figure, but she knows of who he is on the other side.
Okay.
When she was younger, would she say little things that would make you think that maybe she knew him, or did she say really profound things that you thought, okay, she can't know that? How can she know that?
No, because he was very young when he passed, and my little one, their ages were like 2, 3, and 4 when he passed. So
right.
Yeah, not that anything comes to mind, other than like, she was very young when he was sick, so.
Right. Sit with that thought for a little bit and think back of when she was 2 and he was gone. And because he's showing me, did she do a lot of little tea parties? Like, did she set up little tea parties?
Yeah, my girls are close in age, so she played with the youngest one and the middle one played teacup party, like princess party.
Okay. He played teacups with her all the time.
Okay.
He's showing me a teacup set.
Okay.
So he was actually around like her playmate. So that's why I'm saying, if you sit with this for a little bit and think back about those times after he had passed.
Yeah.
And think about some of the things that she might have said, because I'm being shown that something is going to trigger you and go, oh, wait a minute. There's no way she could have known that. Right?
Okay.
So, but he's showing me that he's very much involved in their lives.
I'm glad he is now. I didn't think he would be, because no matter where I moved, I always blessed my home, to protect my kids. So I thought by me doing that, he wouldn't be around for them.
Oh, no, absolutely not. By blessing your house, all you're doing is you're bringing all the good stuff in, right?
Okay.
And he is of the light. So you can invite him into your house. You can also, put some kind of, you can tell spirit that, you only will allow people of the light, spirits of the light, and your loved ones in your home. And everybody else has to stay outside of your home. But he's already been in there. He's already been in there with you guys. No matter where you go, he's always been there.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Well, we are coming down to the very last little bit of our show. So I thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the show. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for your time as well.
You are so welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you again.
Well, that wraps it up. Another Thursday night here. We are done. Catch me over at my Facebook page at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com or my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or here on Your Time to Shine Facebook page. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Avid Advice Live with Persian Medium Fiona. Live from avidadvice.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Avid Advice Live on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
I was at the age of 7. So it was my first card. Yes, that was my first grade. Actually, it was that I felt that I'm kind of different, compare myself with others in a class. I felt that I feel and see things which kind of weird. It was really weird to me because I didn't know to who I have to talk to. What should I say to my teacher? And how can I explain my experience and my connections to, I didn't know at that time what it means. The Holy Spirit, the messages, the things that come to me without asking, or every time when I want to have something, it's just come to me or came to me though at that time. So I do remember I talked to my grandma and I said, I feel that I can hear people, I can see people. Yeah, it was about actually making a decision. It was about that just do something, because every time when someone had some need, believe me or not, they come to me by themselves. I never even knew any of those people, where they are and where I can find them. They came to me, they talked to me out of sudden, and somehow I'm a messenger. And as a messenger, I always has to deliver my message. If I'm not, then I'm getting some punish from God, or somehow some energies come to me and tell me or tell me that, you know, you have to, and you did not. So yes, it came so naturally to me. I never decide for any of those messages. Those messages came very easily and nicely to me, and I always, the only responsibility that I have is that I have to deliver the messages. Well, I raised with my grandpa and grandma, so I did not know anything about my parents until I was 11 years old. And my mom and my dad got married, and I was just 9 months when they got divorced. Both of them been very young and very mature, as I heard. My dad never been in Iran because after they divorced, so my dad moved to Italy or in Europe. So, and my grandparents did not even tell me about that I have mom and dad. They just act and also pretend that my mom is my grandma and my dad is my grandpa. My mother is my sister and my uncles is my brothers. So that I heard until I was 11 years old. So I was just around the age of 13 that I started thinking about that I need to do something by my own. And of course, my Holy Spirit and God always was behind me, helped me, guide me, and let me know exactly where to go and how to do. So I started a little business by business, and I felt that, oh, now I became a businesswoman. It's like a young 13 and 14 years old lady that is starting to kind of, feel and sense that she has connection to people. She has connection to God. She has connection to the source that she never ever thought that she could ever go there. Like every single business as you could imagine, like computer and other things that I never had any experience of. So yes, I start my real business at the age of 13 and became actually the marketing manager for a big company actually in Iran, in Tehran, as a marketing manager. Yes, I did. Success is you. You are success. Success is everywhere. Success is something that you think and feel and connect into your own abilities. Success is about that you believe in yourself in the first place. Success means that you never let down or let go of anything that you want and wish because someone telling you that you can't. And you know what the most amazing success for me was? When people said, you can't do it, and I did. That means success. I am actually gave me the very nice, beautiful pics of you are, who you are. It's just remind me about who I am. And power is also tell me that get in touch and get connect with your abilities, the power and the gift that you have inside, and try to touch it. And every time when I says I am, I remind myself exactly who I am. And power is telling me what type of power and abilities I have that I can receive and give, or give and receive to my audience, to my clients, to my students, and to my followers. You, my students, my audience, my followers, and those that I don't even know, but I'm talking to them daily, maybe 10 times a day. Sometimes I may not know exactly who they are, but when they're calling me, would they meet me, would they cry, and would they feel that I know them for so long, that is exactly the inspiration. And every time when someone calling and says, well, Fiona, things happened. Well, Fiona, because of you, my life getting better. Well, Fiona, thank you so much. You saved my marriage. Well, Fiona, thank you so much. You healed my husband. Well, Fiona, thank you so much for everything you did. That is exactly the inspiration for me to go and do everything that goes from my power, little by little, to make you guys happiest. Well, it's very funny because I'm actually having or had or still a lot of people who is non-believer. And what the funny part was, those who was non-believer, when they was around me, the Holy Spirit and the guidance that come from the add energies is just showing them that they are completely wrong. things happened that I was with them, messages come from others. So they kind of like being shocked one after each other that, wow, we didn't even believe, we didn't even thought, we couldn't even, you know. So I understand that there is a lot of people that is non-believer, but you know what? This is exactly what I'm telling to people. If you are believing that you are living, that you have blood in your body, that you can move your body from here to the left and go to the right, means that you can feel and sense. And then you get connected to the sense of the energies that you have inside. Then you can feel more and more. As you know that animals can feel and sense before any bad things is going to happen because they have a very strong sense. It depends. If you are a person that trying to, you know, make your sense or see your sensualities in your emotion, your vision, imagination, your subconscious mind, get close to that power, then you can see, feel, and connect to the spirit. If you don't, if you disable those visions, if you disable those beliefs, if you disable that there is nothing as a miracle, everything is all about this, everything is all about that, everything is all about black and everything is all about white, there is not in the middle, what I have to say is completely wrong. Because I could feel and I could see exactly where we stand when it comes to our vision, emotion, feelings, and subconscious mind. If you get close to all of them, you can have and active your psychic abilities and mediumship. If not, it will be gone. So those who don't believe, they may never gonna active or activate the third eyes, the emotion and the vision in their life. So my advice to all of them is about to open up, activate it, believe it, until you achieve it. Colors hypno my mind and hypno my vision to what I want to receive as a messages. Sometimes when I have a difficult cases or I am in a difficult place with client, which I'm trying to help and make them to heal, I am using those colors as a significant fingerprint for myself to receive messages and to give them the messages. That's why I go to my studio and just like closing and shut the door for maybe half an hour to 3 or 4 hours. I'm using all the colors around, I'm playing with them, and I creating whatever I am waiting or they are waiting to get an answer from me. So yes, when I'm painting, I am not here. If someone screaming at me, talking to me, like my son, many times they come and says, well, Mom, can you do this and that? Well, I couldn't even hear them. So, well, my husband says, well, your phone is ringing, so can you answer? I couldn't even hear that because I'm not here. When I'm paint, I'm not here. I'm somewhere else. And sometimes the way that I'm choosing colors, the shape, the idea is not something that I'm choosing before I go in. So every single of those that I paint here in my house, it has some significant fingerprint of something that has to do with some of my clients, my achievement, or was very touchy. That's why I feel painting for me or to me was always like, just do it. It's time. Do you want to receive that messages or do you want to heal that specific person? Please just do it.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jack Canfield, your host for Hollywood Live. My next guest, Fia Johansson, is an amazing person. She speaks 5 languages, which I find very impressive. She's emigrated to several countries, has a psychology degree from the University of Stockholm in Sweden. She is a hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist and healer, and God knows probably other things I don't even know about. So I just want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very
Jack.
much. I'm so
Pleasure
thankful.
to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your background and the work that you do.
Yes, my name is Fia Johansson, as you said, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and hijack the subconscious mind, or basically I says that subconscious mind surgeon.
I love that, subconscious brain surgeon.
Yes, exactly. And also, I'm helping police officers and private investigators, law enforcement, to finding missing people, helping them with the murder cases and individual cases that come to me from people. Mm-hmm. So all my life, I find my purpose to helping others. And it was easy. I mean, as long as I know I exist, I have to help others. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how. And the funny part, they found me. I never go after anybody. They found me, they asked me, and I'm helping them as much as I can.
That's beautiful. Now, when did you realize you were psychic?
I was 7.5. So a friend of mine was in my house, and they wanted back home. They want to go home, and I just said, no, please don't go. And my grandma says they had to. I says, no, please, because I feel incensed that if your guy's going, then there is going to be a car crash. So they both kind of like, just come on, stop it. It's nothing going to happen. It's just, she just want to let the friend stay. So my mom was like, okay, just go to your room, have fun, nothing is going to happen. 2 hours later, they phoned us and says, well, unfortunately, they had a car crash. Nothing bad had happened to them, but they had a car crash and they was in the hospital. So from there, my mom said, gosh, I should be scared. I was like, wow, I don't even know why I even said that, and why when I said that, things happened. And I never been normal, like as a child. I always could feel, sense. I always been afraid of dark. I always felt that when I'm actually in the dark, or actually in the dark room, I felt the heat, connection, kind of sense of somebody touching or trying to communicate with me in a very proper way, but in a way that if I could actually tell everybody could say, you're crazy, you're getting crazy. Oh my God, take this lady to the doctor, or little girl to the doctor. But then later on, when I was at the age of 14, I started to realize that, I may be an empath. Mm-hmm. Or maybe why, when every single person actually dying, people communicating with me after they are dying. So what's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? So then I studied about medium and mediumship. I moved from my country to Stockholm. And let's just say about that stories. Well, my career started from there. It was October 6, 1999. It was almost minus 30 degrees, super cold. And it was just about 2 weeks that I moved from my country to Stockholm. I couldn't speak English. I couldn't speak Swedish. I just could speak Persian and a little of Italian. I went to the grocery store and I saw somebody is just running behind and with the gun in hand. I was like, is it correct? That was the gun? What was it? So I saw that all of a sudden shooting, and also the police officers and a lot of people get into the stores. And as I do remember, I stopped the cops to not following and going through the place that he wanted to. And he trying to push me away. He says like, don't stop me, I have to go. And I was like, no, don't, because he can kill you. And I don't even know how I told him that he could understood what I meant by don't, you're gonna be killed. I stopped him, so I hold him like that. I do remember that. I was like little, tiny, just was cold, but I felt like I have to stop him. However, my career started from there. They understood that if I couldn't really realize and replace that person that was behind the wall, then the officer could be killed very easily in the head. Mm-hmm. So from there, they asked me a question, how you stopped the officer? How did you know that this guy was hiding behind the door and the wall? And I told them, well, that was my life and my stories and everything. So then they said, you know what? We need you, and you should just be part of us. I was just 14. I was just like a teenager. 13. Yeah. And they've been super excited. They've been amazed by everything that I did so far for them. And I started working with them until I moved to America. So I'm still working with them on the phone. So if they have cases, they're calling me, they're telling me. And there's a large of clients of mine that they're calling me from everywhere, from Australian, London, Canada, whatever. And that's why I developed the Avid Advice platform for myself to let people talk to me and communicate with me about their problems. But right now, my most amazing, better say, gift that I have is about finding missing people, helping officers and investigators to solving their cases.
Fascinating, fascinating. I'm curious, most people, if you were to survey the average American, would say they don't believe in psychics, they don't believe in mediums. Well, when you were growing up, was that an issue for you?
As I said, mine was always word of mouth. So I mean, every single person who actually came to me first, they've been non-believer until they see something with their own eyes. Mm-hmm. Mostly, as you know, like officers, private investigators, they are not really, logical. They're kind of more logical, not biological.
Right.
And when a psychic or medium telling them don't do, it's kind of hard for them to accept from the beginning until actually they know that, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was hard until they start to believe in, oh, she does. 2 years ago, I found the missing pilot. The black box of the missing pilot. Coast Guard communicated with me and says like, we are looking for that missing pilots and the instructor, can you help us? I said, you are guys close by to the ocean and it's just not the right place because I can hear what he's telling me exactly where he is right now. And they said, what we should do now is to send a helicopter and I will guide you guys where to go. And we found the black box, and LAPD confirmed that, Coast Guard confirmed that was from the same flight. And I was in NBC News, and then after that, people just starting to communicate more, so that's why I developed Avid Advice, for them to communicate more then, yeah.
Sophia, your success has obviously been amazing. You've been on television, you're solving problems for everybody, including law enforcement, and doing what would often be considered miraculous things. What do you attribute your amazing success to?
Believe in myself, believe in my abilities, knowing my market. I always telling to everyone, because I am helping people to develop their businesses as well. It doesn't matter what type of businesses, but by helping them how to create. So I always tell everybody, just look into what market wants from you. Don't say what market can bring to me, because market would never bring anything to you until you bring quality to market. My only word to every single business entrepreneur, woman business entrepreneur, is about believe in yourself, always quality bring always quantity, remember that. And look around and see exactly what you need, what your market needs, and also get in tune with your soul and see who are you? How are you? And if you are okay. Because if you do not have control over your life, then you do not have over control over your business, then over your life and over everything. So stay away from negative people, for negativities, and just be yourself in every single moment and areas of your life.
Now, you may have just answered the next question I was going to ask you, which is, looking back from where you sit now, very successful, very confident, when you were looking back, let's say at the 20-year-old Fia, what would you have told her? Anything different than what you just said?
Never be afraid.
Never be afraid.
To show off.
To show off?
Yes. Because I was afraid always to show off, because when I left my country, I was just a teenager, and I've been together with a lot of Swedish, people, and I do remember the first time when I want to connect with them, they've been kind of super cold. It takes time for them to just accept them or accept you in their group. So I always trying to hold myself back and in trying to let them to moving forward. Then I felt like, why I'm doing this? I'm a proud, beautiful young lady that I do everything by myself. I'm helping 1 million of people right now, and I do fantastic job with a lot of law enforcement officers, and why I'm trying to hold myself back and not speaking to them or just letting them to, take an action towards to whatever they are asking me or doing. You know what, it's time, get up now. Just hold yourself up and just say, hello, this is me, Fia Johansson. So, and yeah, if I would just show off more and then could say that, you know what, good job, go for it. Never be afraid of talking, never be afraid of communicating with people, never be afraid of showing who you are as a person. Just be yourself in every single matter of your life. Whatever happened, wherever you are, whomever you are, and wherever you end up with, you have to just be yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. So if people want to reach you and take advantage of your talents, your skills, your gifts, where do they go? How do they find you?
There's a couple ways, but the easiest way is if they can go to PersianMedium.com and AvidAwakening.com, and they can reach my platform, which is AvidAdvice.com. So, and then they sign up and they call and chat from there. Sometimes they send me an email because I'm receiving a million emails. My assistant says, oh my God, Fiona, they want to prioritize this and prioritize that. But I will definitely get in with people when they call through Avid Advice, because that's the only way that I can communicate and connect with people directly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And my Instagram, by the way, I have over 1,300,000 followers.
Good for you.
Which is, I'm happy. And every time when I'm actually having 60-second videos, I see, okay, 3 million views. Oh, thank you, God. So I'm happy that I'm helping them. I'm happy to make them to feel happy. I'm happy to make them and feel them happy.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Fia.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you being on the show today. And for all of you, check out her website. She can help you with a lot of different things. So stick around, though. We have one more guest today. So see you in a couple minutes.
Naturally to me, I never decide for any of those messages. The only responsibility that I have is that I have to deliver the messages.
What was your reading like in Persian Medium? Oh my God, I love her. So I actually had a moment with her when she was walking in. She came by her table for water, and it was just like, whew. That's how I felt. Are you gonna like come back for more? Oh yeah.
You're not even leaving.
It was all kind of things I kind of knew. I felt intuitively guided. It's nice to feel her tap into those deeper places and I guess reveal hidden places that I sense and feel, but have her kind of present them.
She said, I'm going to meet a man who's going to come right through me. It's been quite a while, and if that happens, I'm going to be in huge debt to her.
This was a great reading today because it lifts my spirit. Spirits have been depressed for a while because of adverse happenings going on. I'm very pleased about that.
I went to her workshop yesterday and it was awesome. Yes, and I got her book, so I'm excited about that.
Well, this is the only reading I've done, and it's the only reading I would do, and it's because I just know that.
She told me things that I already knew, and then she also told me things that I was surprised at. Like she could read me, like things I was in denial of. She was actually reading what I was in denial of. So it was wonderful. It really was.
I didn't say a word. She just knew exactly how I felt about it.
You know, she's absolutely right. So it's kind of like you have the answers inside somewhere, and she kind of validated what I was thinking.
If you are a person that's trying to, make your sense or see your sensualities in your emotion, your vision, imagination, your subconscious mind, get close to that power, then you can see, feel, and connect to the spirit.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Gemma Spirit World with Gemma. Live from GemmaSpiritWorld.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Gemma Spirit World
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone. I am Gemma, your host tonight for Gemma Spirit World. How are we all doing? My goodness, here on the Gold Coast, it is Friday afternoon. It's like 1:30 and it's beautiful outside. I know last week when I spoke to you all, it was pouring with rain and I had my crazy children in the background making so much noise. So I'm extremely happy to be child-free while we do this show, and just letting you know that I do have my cat around, Raphael, and hopefully he gives us some peace and quiet as well, because he does like to come in and likes to cause a bit of chaos. Okay, so how's my week? How's everyone's week been, actually? So my week's just as busy as always, but something that I've really noticed, I'm always looking out for, we always look for signs, signs from spirit or signs from our guides, whether that's, numbers that we're into, like the 111s or 222s or 333s. For me, I always get the 11s, 1111 or 111. But it's always good to notice these things. And when you do notice like certain sequence of numbers, to really just think at the time what you're thinking about and what's playing on your mind, because generally it's a way for spirit or our angels just to let us, it's generally their way of getting in contact with us, to letting us know that we're on the right path and they are around us and helping and guiding us in the direction that we're going in life. It's just a big confirmation of, yes, keep on doing what you're doing. Another thing that I also get, I get lots of numbers. You could have a conversation with a friend and you may be talking about something and, that day you'll run into another friend and they'll mention the same thing, or it could be like a sequence like that you could, have a certain topic and you notice that that topic may come up 3 or 4 times in that particular week. And generally it's another way of our guides, our loved ones, or, just another way to receive messages that may be really important for us to maybe look more into what's going on into our life as well. Another way that I also communicate with spirit is with our psychic. I do a lot of psychic work in my dreams. I don't necessarily need to be awake to work and communicate with spirit and with my spirit work. So, and we all dream too. So that's another thing. We all dream, whether we realize or whether we remember our dreams and what our dreams are about. But I know around from 3 o'clock, like that's when spirit, my guides, more so, loved ones that have passed, and even spirits that people that I don't know, they actually, they wake me up at 3 in the morning. I'm very awake at 3, and that's their way, that I find that's when they show me a lot of stuff, what's happening in my life, what's happening in other people's life. And it's like premonitions, like when you see, it's like a little movie unfolding in front of you, and except these are real life experiences. And I write everything down, and I have messages to pass on to people that I do know. And sometimes I don't know who I'm going to pass on to these messages, but it's amazing how spirit work, how the universe and how spirit work, because, I work with people I don't know in my dreams as well. And every time I wake up, write it down, or if my waking spirit come through, then I always find the owner, that spirit, to the loved ones, that spirit are contacting me to connect with. So I'm very busy, in my sleep and when I'm awake, with spirit around me. So yeah, just another way that, we all have psychic experiences, whether we know that we are or some aren't aware, but even if you just have that knowing of, not getting on the bus or, just, it's amazing how our guides and our spirit are always protecting us. You may not get on the bus, but take a different route to get home, or you just have that feeling. And also I've had lots of, dreams where I haven't seen people for a while, and I see them in my dreams and I'm communicating with them, and the next day, I'll run into them, or I will receive a phone call from them. So it's just amazing how our loved ones our loved ones and how our guides, how, everything connects. And yeah, it's just beautiful that we can receive so much if we are open and really in touch with what's going on around us, and our intuitive, our psychic. We all have psychic abilities, and just some more than others. So for me, I've had a lot go on in my sleep, a lot during my week with my readings. So it's been a great week, and I really just, I love what I do. And I know I say that every week, but it's really nice to be able to wake up every morning and, have a job, and whatever you do, but wake up knowing that you enjoy doing what you do. And, I love helping people and reconnecting their loved ones, to give them peace of mind, but healing as well, that, in the afterlife, we do, in the afterlife, that life does, exist. We have afterlife, but it's basically once we die, there is, we're still around. We just don't see our loved ones, but some do, and we just feel our loved ones. I know that with my animals passing too, I actually have my dogs that visit me in my dreams. I wake up in my sleep or in my dreams, because I can control my dreams. But it's another way that, my spirit pets come to me, and it's beautiful to be able to reconnect on that level. I also see my pets around me in the spirit world, and clear as well. I know they're always beside me as well. But something I have noticed a lot lately is that even at night time, I know I'm rattling on because I've just got so much to say because I haven't got my children around me, but I know when I go to bed at night time, yes, I have my cat now, but I keep hearing a purring sound around me, and I know it's not my cat because I look everywhere. So I always feel it, I just keep hearing these purring sounds, and I know I'm definitely not crazy, but it's just, it's really nice to know that with my new cat that's alive, I seem to attract all my other past cats as well. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd wrap it up because I know I'm talking lots, but I just have lots to say, and just keep on dreaming. And one other thing is that write down, something that I do all the time is write down your dream. It's amazing how our dreams can let us know what's going on. Just lots. So keep on dreaming and keep on writing everything down. Okay, so let's see what callers we do have. Dave, do we have any callers available? Pepper. Okay, Pepper is from... Hello, Pepper.
Hello.
Hello, Pepper. How are you? From Nebraska.
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh, lovely to hear from you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I just having some really odd feelings that I just kind of wanted to to share and get some information on.
Definitely.
Just with this, all the retrograde and the planets aligning, this last week it's like I'm walking through like jello and trying to go into a different area and just really dizzy and weak, but yet at the same time very calm. And it's just an unusual feeling. I'm trying to sort it all out.
Yep. And this, just with the feeling that you have around you, is it like, because I feel really, really calm around you right now. So just a question. So what are you asking me to look into, just with what's going on into your life with everything?
Yeah, what's going on and what direction I should go, what I should be doing or focusing on.
Yep. I know what is coming through loud and clear for me is work. With your work, are you not working at the moment?
I'm kind of self-employed. I do life coaching, and I'm a Reiki master.
Yep. Okay. And are you, okay, so what I see, because I keep seeing a circle around you, and it's like you have your foot outside the circle. It's like you're stepping outside your comfort zones. But what I'm seeing you doing is that doing more of it so that you can have more confidence to expand in other areas of your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that does.
I'm also like, because you know how sometimes, we get stuck, not get stuck, but we get caught up in our comfort zones when everything's going really good. I know I like being in my comfort zones, but I know every now and then we really need to push ourselves a little bit, just stepping outside, doing things a little bit different to, because I keep seeing growth is really important to your business, connecting with more people I see lots of people coming to you, but it's more about if you step more out of your comfort zones, it's about putting yourself out there with your services to attract new people into your life from different areas. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Another thing, I keep seeing crystals around you. Do you do crystals with your Reiki as well?
I do. I've got a lot of different crystals around.
Yep. Do you use your crystals in your Reiki practice?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what I just keep seeing. I keep seeing lots of crystals, but I keep seeing like the pyramid-shaped crystals around you.
Okay.
And it's like,
I don't think I've got a pyramid shape, but I do have a number of crystals.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting because I always get lots of crystals. It's interesting that I can see the pyramid ones, and it's like really, and when you see triangles, it's like, you're focusing your energy to go higher and beyond as well. Like it's pointing up. And I get the feeling like to really put yourself out there just to expand on different areas. Do you actually work with children at all? Because I have children around you.
I work with a few, and I do have, children around me at times, yeah.
Yeah, because I see that really going down a different avenue with your work. I see children's meditations with you as well. It's like incorporating everything that you have now, but kind of opening up, like bringing lots of things into your practice. So it's just like, I just see lots of meditations, but with children around you, really opening up your world for children as well as adults. But I really feel that like workshops or, really holding space, introducing crystals to children, into their Reiki or, I just see that you working with children really, I can feel it in my heart that it's something that you really connect to.
Right, I do.
Yeah, and I also, it's interesting, I've got to have another image come through, and I'm going to just let you know what it is because yes, I keep seeing punching, boxing gloves. So basically, it's like, I feel like whether that's a struggle, you have a struggle going on with yourself, with how much you are doing at the moment, like not to put too much pressure on yourself. If something doesn't work, not to beat yourself up about it, just keep on trying new things. And I know it all is connected with the heart. So it's a passion that it's your work, it's what you do, and it's you enjoy what you do as well, and opening up this beautiful space for people to come in. But it's like just finding other things. I keep seeing lots of triangles around you. I keep seeing the crystal grids, I can't even say the shapes now, just all the different patterns. And it's like you really trying out new things to bring into your practice to expand business on a different level.
Right.
But yeah, with the punching gloves, it's like not to beat yourself up if one thing doesn't feel like it's working, just to really, just to be gentle on yourself with how everything's going at the moment. I do see I see flow. I keep hearing the word flow, just go with the flow.
I'm sorry, you see what?
Oh, sorry, I keep seeing the word flow, FLOW, and it's like, just go with the flow. Another thing that's coming in as well, heaps of images, do you do massages at all? Like healing massages?
I do not. I do some aroma touch therapy, but I don't do actual massage.
Okay, and because what I'm seeing is it's like it's like massaging, but it's like those heat stones. I keep seeing big heat stones around you as well. But I also, if it's something that you don't do, it's, when I look at images that come through like this, it's like really to treat yourself, look after yourself, maybe the self-care that your body needs at the moment, because you give so much out to other people.
Okay, I see. That's right.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you give so much that, keep a little bit of that love and how much you give out to others for yourself. And it's about, looking after yourself at the moment and really grounding. I keep saying grounding, getting outside as well, but taking some time out to look at how you can expand your business in a way that's passionate, just to make it more flourishing. I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth, but in a way to really make your business grow.
Right. And that's what I need to work on.
Yes, definitely. And not to beat yourself up over it either. I see lots of water around you too. And, I see as is like a fountain, whether you have water around you, but it's like with the retrograde, it brings up lots of emotions too. So we start, it's like we filled up with all these emotions, and it's okay to let go of them, release the emotions that you're feeling, acknowledge them. And it's amazing how you'll feel that shift that will come through.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I hold a lot of emotions in.
Yeah, definitely, because I keep seeing when I had that water, it was like I could see like a little bottle with all the emotions into it. So it was like I could see that. And it's okay to let go, release what no longer serves you.
Right, I'm trying to let go of certain people and get things out of my life so I can go on.
Definitely. Okay, Penny, I'm sure I said your name right. Penny, was it?
Pepper.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have to go, but it was lovely to chat with you. It was lovely to chat with you. So thank you. I hope I have helped you in some way.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pepper. Bye. Okay, we have Morgan.
Hi.
Hello, Morgan. How are you doing tonight?
That's a loaded question, depending on the moment, honestly.
Okay. All right. Just a question before we get into just your areas of what you would like me to look into. Do you have a sore back at the moment? Have you got pain in your back?
Mild annoyance, but yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I really want to sit up really straight. I've got this pain going right down the center of my back. So I was like, whoosh, that's like, feels like there's a lot going on.
I carry a lot. I'm a single mother. I relocated out here to Washington to flee from a psycho ex of mine about a year ago with my newborn in tow. She turns 1 on this Saturday. You know, it's been starting over. Not everybody gets a fresh start, so I try to not be ungrateful.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that. I feel your pain. I feel your struggle too. And I also see how much you've gone through, because I have this image of like anchors, like heavy anchors weighing your feet down. Like it's really been hard to get through each day. It's amazing how far you have come as well from a year ago.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been trying to keep...
I'm not quite at the point where I'm proud of myself, but I'm proud of myself at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Not to be too hard on yourself, because it's amazing that you have everything together now. You still have a long road ahead of you. I see that. I also feel like, do you have health issues as well? Do you get anxiety? Because I feel like my heart's got really heavy as well. Do you suffer from anxiety, anxiousness?
Not so much anxiety as in I'm still just healing. I'm trying to grow and expand, and I'm letting a lot of emotional burdens go, like the ones associated with my mother, the ones associated with an ex-lover that's just like, that predicated the self-destruct button. That was fun.
Yeah, wow. And that's why the heavy heart with the broken heart. So that's why my heart feels so heavy at the moment with everything that you've gone through. I keep seeing the word depression, and is it something that your partner had a lot of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I was
also quite loud.
His emotional thermostat.
Yeah, definitely. I see that. It's been like a crazy tornado that feels like it's ripped through.
Yeah.
And it's just to recognize, your survival skills of how far you've come, and, how much you have sacrificed to be where you are today. I know that you are so grateful. I also see for you that, do you have 2 children? I know you said you had a newborn, but do you have 2 children?
Yeah, I do. My oldest is 10, and that's one of the heartbreaks. My mother is raising her due to the psycho issue. When he falsified police reports and threw me in jail, I did an inter-family adoption, and she has completely ousted me from her life. And it's like, look, woman, I know you need to heal too, but why you got to create that wound in me? We were supposed to bond as mothers, and that's not happening. But you gotta let it go, because you know what? When she crosses over, she'll learn that lesson, and she will see all the tears that she's made me cry on her behalf. Because I love my mom. Yeah. I can't wait to shit on her grave, though.
Yeah, I know, that's a hard one, isn't it? My goodness, I see that she's cut you out of your life, even your daughter. Around your daughter at the moment, I have lots of blue butterflies around her. It's like vibrant blue. It's like she's gone through a lot as well, but she's also got wings to fly. In, the dreams that she's going to turn into a beautiful woman when she gets older is what I'm seeing for her. She's going to really Really,
I'm scared of that chapter in life. You know, she's going to have a lot of anger, and I don't want the situation later down the line to create anger, like to have her be angry at my mother. I would prefer her to be angry at me because I know I'm strong enough to work through it with her and not do this cold shoulder. You're on your own. I got my own family to worry about. Shit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot you're going through. My goodness. Also, are you seeking like legal help, legal aid, support? Because I keep seeing support around you, outside support.
I have to brag on the crisis support network out here in Washington State. When me and my youngest fled New Orleans, they put us up in a safe house. And we stayed in a safe house from August to October, and they helped place us in a really nice apartment and everything. And I'm working really hard to keep that quality of life up for my little girl.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I have any other legal issues unless something's brewing that I'm not aware of. Lord knows the psychopath is capable of doing some shiesty stuff. He can turn dang near anything around.
Yeah, definitely. The legal support that I see around you is very uplifting, supporting, really going to help you out. I keep seeing really getting outside is really good for you than being inside as well. I just keep seeing sunshine. I keep seeing like open spaces. You know, what's letting me know is it's good to be outside, to be able to breathe and take in everything that you actually do have in your life. And I know that good things are going to come your way. It's just a matter of just getting through the next 2 hurdles, but they just feel like it's just the change, adjusting to life at the moment and with everything that's going on.
Yeah, I've been working a lot outside, painting murals here in the general locale, trying to make money when I need it. I mean, like, that was my career. I was an artist in New Orleans. I got to touch so many thousands of people in a day and inspire them. That's what my soul lives for. And I feel like I'm suffocating in a lot of ways. So every time I get to paint and do a mural, I get to breathe again.
Definitely. We'll keep on doing that. I've drawn a card for you because I don't have much time, and it's Don't Give Up. It's a beautiful angel card, and she's holding like it's like she's got the world in front of her. So don't give up. That's you. You have that strength to not give up and continue to paint those beautiful paintings of yours to inspire others and the journey that you're actually going through at the moment. I'd love for you to keep in contact with me on Gemma's Spirit World on my Facebook page. Morgan?
Yeah.
I'm
the only one.
Thank you. I wish you all the best. Just breathe and keep on painting, and I wish all the best for you and your family at the moment.
All right.
Thank you, Morgan. Okay, thank you everyone for the beautiful callers that have connected with me tonight. I'd just like to thank A1R Psychic Radio for a great week. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'd love for everyone to follow me on my Facebook page, Gemma's Spirit World.
A1R. Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Modern Mystic Radio Show. I'm your host, Mystic Sarah, and we're on A1R Psychic Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network. Plus, we're on Moonstruck TV. So if you would like your own private reading with me, it's very easy to do that. You can go straight onto my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook under Mystic Sarah and also under Modern Mystic. I take sessions, so if you fancy having your own mini reading, you can get involved in that way. Of course, you know, you can call in tonight. I am taking 2 callers tonight. So let's talk about our topic for today, which is the full moon in Sagittarius. We're still within that energy, so I wanted to really recap on certain things that you can do around that full moon energy. And when we're looking at full moons, we are looking at using that energy of the full moon to amplify what we would like to achieve. Now, with each moon, in terms of where it falls within the astrology side of it, will be good for certain things. So let's have a look at what a full moon in Sagittarius would and possibly could be good for. Okay, so we have spells for legal matters in general, laws, judges, teaching and learning, education, philosophy and ethics, dreams, contacting the higher planes, accessing the Akashic records, contacting God in general, divination, starting a tradition, big business, conscience, luck in general, and of course good luck. Also rules are in-laws. So looking at who we are married to and their family, parties and fun, long journeys, dream work, high mysteries, higher learning, sports, good deeds, goodwill, fame, generosity, eternal optimism, resilience, rationalization, future orientated, movement forwards, mind expansion, spiritual occurrences, the ability to perceive right and wrong, faith, television, languages, and publishing. Okay, so maybe you would like to get your own book written, or going forwards, you know, maybe you would like a publisher to take notice of what you've written. Perhaps you want to get onto TV, perhaps you want to launch your career, whatever it is that you want to put a little bit of extra energy or momentum into, now would be a good time to use that full moon energy. So how do we do that? Well, what I always do, I'm just going to give you what I do, is I light a candle. Now, if we're looking at Sagittarius, I go for the colours blue, violet, red or indigo. If you don't have any of those colours, that's not a problem. You can go for white. What you would do is write your intentions down, what it is that you would like to move forward with over the coming months, and then just meditate on that as you wait for that candle to burn down. It really is as simple as that. So reflect, imagine what it is. We say meditating, imagine what it is and how you would feel if those things were actually brought into your life. Okay, right, so I have also picked a card for today. Or for this week, actually. And this is what I have picked out earlier as I was waiting to come onto the show. We have the 9 of Cups, or the 9 of Chalices, as it is in this card. I'm using the deck, Syrian Starseed Tarot. So if we look at the 9 of Cups, or the 9 of Chalices, it's known as the wish card. So what wishes do you want to come true? And more importantly, it's giving us the energy energy to make those things a reality. So I would say over the next week it's going to be a time where you're finding more and more things actually go your way. And perhaps, is it going to be your big dream coming true, or is it going to be smaller dreams? Who knows? It's life is what you make at the end of the day, but this is the energy to be focusing on. Right, okay, let's go on to my first caller. We have Laura, who is in Dublin, Ireland. Laura, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And what would you like me to look at for you today?
I've a lot going on at the moment, as in I am trying to move a premises. I'm trying to move house, and I'm just wondering if it's going to happen this year.
Okay. All right, let's have a look and see what we have for you. So as I'm tuning into this whole move, it's like the energy that I'm being given here is like it's been blocked. Does that make sense? Or it feels like it keeps on falling through. I just feel like I've got hiccups when we're looking at actually getting this move in place. I do feel that, and I'm getting a lot of indications that we're looking a little bit further into the year here. And I am being shown here you changing direction over a long period of time, over after waiting. This is what I'm being shown for you. So are you actually looking to move a distance as well?
No, it'll be very close to where we are.
Okay. Are you near the sea at all?
I am, yeah.
Okay, right, it's just I'm picking up water around your move. So it feels as though the move itself is, it feels like it's in the lap of the gods. And I feel like you've got to be patient, because the house that you are meant to be actually moving into, it feels destined in some way. So I've got the element of divine timing around it, which I feel partly accounts for this sense of a long delay in terms of getting the ball rolling. If I'm going to look at a timing for you, I mean, I have got this year, but I feel like I'm looking at after summer. I want to go sort of September, October time for you, okay? This is when I feel that all the right conditions are actually going to be there. And this is also where I feel that the right house for you is going to be coming in. Now, what I'm being drawn towards here is I'm being given a number around this house, which is the number 11. So I've got 2 1s here with you. I mean, it could possibly be 111 or 101, but I want to give you 11 as a really significant number. I feel that in many respects, the place that you're in at the moment holds within it some difficult times. Does that make sense? Some difficult memories. And I feel like the whole energy of the house hasn't really worked very well for you. Does that make sense to you? As though you've encountered lots of problems since being there. And there's also the sense of outgrowing the property as well, sort of emotionally or vibrationally. Does that make sense to you?
Okay. Yeah, so definitely outgrown it, as in kids. There's so many kids, there's no room left.
So when we're looking at your next move, I feel that it's going to match you a lot better, or certainly match the family a lot better than what you have at the moment. But my feeling here is that it's been really complicated to get this ball rolling. I keep on being shown here the month of October as being really, really strong with this move. This is where I feel the right house is actually going to call to you. Okay, I feel like that's
this year or next year.
I feel like it's this year. I do feel that it's this year. but October seems to be the month for you. I feel like this is where everything is kind of falling into place. And also it is the point where you're able to start all over again, because this is what this move really symbolises for you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, has that answered your question?
Yes, it has. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and take care, and thank you for calling into the show.
Okay. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Right, we're going to go on to our next caller, and we have Shannon, who is in Stockbridge, Georgia. Hi, Shannon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you.
What? Oh, thank you. What would you like me to look at for you?
I feel like that my whole life is in chaos right now. I have 4 grown children, and but they don't live with me. It's just like there's so much going on. I don't know how to explain it. Just maybe a general reading, maybe. I mean, I'd like to know if anything, if this is going to get better anytime soon.
Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got here. Okay, so I mean, as I was listening to you speak, it's like one of the most confusing things with you at the moment is that next step, okay? Or what is it that you need to be focusing on to change the trend of what's been happening, okay? Because what I'm being shown here is like you being caught up in everyone else's issues and problems. Does that make sense? So instead of reaching that quiet time that you thought you were going to be getting, it's almost as though I feel like it's like your time is totally dominated by everyone else, and just when you think you're going to get a little bit of time to just focus on you or breathe, I feel like boom, something else comes in because what I'm being shown here is, yes, we have got major problems being presented, but also we have, it's like a whole variety of smaller issues, okay? But it seems to be like compounding everything at the moment. Like I'll get this great weight, as though you're totally overwhelmed by what's going on in and around you, okay? So instead of reaching that sense of balance and peace, it feels like it's gone the opposite way. So what is it? This is the thing. What is it that you need to be focusing on to break this trend? Because I feel like in many respects, you've given it the gift of time, and it still hasn't got any better. It feels like it's got worse. So I feel that something needs to shift with this. Right, so let's just see where you are at the moment, because I feel like the energy is actually talking about, the cards are talking about you kind of reclaiming yourself. Does that make sense? Reclaiming your life. And I feel... I feel that, part of that is going to have to be learning to say no from now on, okay, within reason. It feels as though there's like everybody kind of pulling all of your energy out of you all the time. And what I'm getting here with this is that you're exhausted from all of that. Does that make sense? And you've got no energy. It's not just time, but you've got no energy to move forward with anything in your life. And you feel now stuck,
I really do, yes.
More stuck than you did when your children were younger. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Now,
yes, ma'am.
Let's just see what we get in terms of you and how to make the shift. Right, so the first thing that I feel needs to shift and change with you is the work side of it. So what I'm being shown here is that's what you need to focus on to begin with, and then I get other things, almost like a domino effect, starting to shift and change for you. Okay.
Okay.
So what I feel here is that I'm being told here you have to learn to say no, and you're going to have to start to be disciplined with your own time. Okay. Because my feeling here is that, unless that happens, people are still going to pull on your energy. Now, what my guides are also saying here is that, it's got to this stage because on some level, and that level might be totally acceptable and totally reasonable. It's not a judgment in any way, but what my guides are saying here is that you've allowed this to kind of get to this stage, okay? Not for a negative reason, but the reason being is that you just want to help people. Does that make sense? And you want to be there, and you want to be a good mum, and a good role model. But my feeling here is it's gone too far. Does that make sense? They're also talking about like arguments within the family. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, totally.
Yeah, like you're being caught in the middle of other people's dramas. That's what I'm being shown.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So when we're talking about saying no, this is what you've got to start saying no to, okay? It's the dramas and being involved in those, not obviously the cry for, real help. Does that make sense? There's no need for you to compromise your own values. But this is what my guides are saying that you need to start with. That will, I feel like I've got a lot more sort of time becoming available to you. Everyone's energy sort of disbanding, and they're going to find the next person to kind of offload all of their dramas onto. Now, this will give you the option, I feel, to focus on where you want to go, where we're looking at work, because my feeling here is that you are needing some sort of change. Does that make sense? I feel as though everything has become quite stale for you. Does that make sense?
It's kind of bad. I'm in a bad relationship, and like you said, I feel stuck. I don't know what my first move needs to be to better. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know what to do next. My husband passed away in 2009, and it's like my life's been chaos since. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I mean, what my guides are really sort of like pointing you towards. See, they're saying, in order to create change, we need to have a